Hey yogis, and welcome to Yoga with Brittany. My name is Brittany, and today we're doing a prenatal vinyasa. So what that means is we're just going to be linking our breath to our movement, but we're also accommodating for the changes that may be occurring in your body. So whether or not you have a belly, whether or not you are in your first, second, or third trimester, wherever you are in this pregnancy, we're going to keep space here. We're going to minimize doing twists and deep folds, and we just want to encourage strength rather than flexibility at this point. As long as you are cleared by your doctor, you are safe to practice this at any point in the pregnancy. I highly recommend having something to bring the ground closer to you. So I have 2 blocks and a pillow here. If you don't have that, just find anything that's stable and sturdy for when we do forward folds, so that way you have space and you're not having to crunch down into the belly. So with that being said, we're going to actually start in a seated position. Crossing your left leg over your right. Just get nice and comfortable here. If at any time throughout practice I offer something that doesn't feel right in your body, please just avoid it altogether and then pick up, or add something else that does feel good. Every body and every pregnancy is different, so although I have practiced through 3 pregnancies, what felt good and safe for me may not feel that way for you. So I want to give you the opportunity to add and take away whenever you feel necessary. Checking in by listening to your breath, feeling your breath, noticing where it lands in the body. And again, it doesn't really matter if you have a big belly, if yours is barely visible, or maybe you're just a couple weeks in and you don't see any changes yet at all. That's perfectly fine. You don't have to be at any point in the pregnancy for this practice to be beneficial to you. I want you to take both hands and place them on the low belly, as if you could find a connection between your palms and baby. Just sending the message that I am here for you, you are safe, you are supported. As if you could send love through your palms to grow and nourish baby. Setting your intention. Maybe it is to grow your connection with your body through this pregnancy. Maybe it's just to feel good, which is sometimes a job in and of itself throughout pregnancy. Go ahead and set your intention. And before we even get started, I want you to thank your body, because that's super important. What you're doing is a miracle. And it is a very, very hard job. So send your body some gratitude. Send that baby some love. Send your body some love. And then when you're ready, softly blink open the eyes, reach the arms overhead, inhale, and then exhale, bring your hands into heart center. As if you could seal in that intention. Very nice. Reach the arms overhead. This time we're gonna just twist to the left. Now, especially if you have a yoga practice before, you may be able to just twist it out. We're not gonna focus on the depth of twist today. We're just going to take a very gentle twist, maybe even turning the torso over that left leg and no further. Keeping space, prioritizing space in that belly. Very nice. Walk the hands through center and take them off to the right. To the left once again. And then to the right. Very nice. Come on back to center, placing the hands onto the kneecaps or the thighs. We're just going to roll through the shoulders, bringing the shoulders up to the ears and down the back. Up to the ears and down the back. Do this a few times. If you do have a belly, I'm sure that the body has been accommodating for it as it does, and you're probably feeling a little tight in the back body, maybe trying to offset some of that weight in the front, maybe even the legs. So we're just going to loosen all of that up. Begin to reverse the circles, bringing the shoulders up to the ears, and then rounding forward. Very nice. When you're ready, we're going to take this left arm over to the left side onto my finger pads or even onto your block. I better just bring those nearby just in case. So place your left finger pads or your palm down. We're going to reach the right arm up and over. I'm going to say this one last time because I can't fully remember if I've said it already, but in this prenatal practice and throughout your pregnancy, it is important to prioritize strength rather than flexibility. So we're just going to open up a little bit here just to kind of get into the body. But we're not going to focus on the depth of stretches today. I'm going to shift that intention. Go ahead and come back up through center. Take your block over to the right if you need it. And then stretch left arm up and over. Very nice. Come on back through center, and then when you're ready, we'll meet in a tabletop position. I'm going to keep my block handy. Actually, I'm going to keep both my blocks handy because we're going to use them. So if you have two, go ahead and place them at the either side at the top of your mat. As you find your tabletop, it's important just to move nice and easy, nice and slow. We're not forcing anything. And then begin to twist out the hips, pressing the hips over to the right, to the left. We want our bodies to be able to support the growing belly, not only throughout pregnancy, but postpartum. Your strength is so important. Couple more twists of the hips here. We're not in any rush. And then come to your neutral table. Go ahead and untuck the toes to start. Setting up so we have a nice strong foundation. The knees are going to be underneath the hips, wrists underneath the shoulders. Spread through each finger. Get strong in your grip here. On the inhale, go ahead and drop the belly. Now, it doesn't have to be the deepest drop you can find, but we're going to arch the back just a bit. Reaching the heart forward, lifting the gaze. Breathe in. And then exhale, begin tucking the tailbone, rounding through the mid-back. Drop the head and neck. Very nice. Inhale, open up, cow pose. Exhale, cat pose. Inhale, cow. And exhale, cat. One more round together. Inhale, open up, draw the shoulders together behind you. Exhale, cat. Very nice. Find a neutral table. And then we're going to step your left foot back, planting the ball of the left foot, pressing back into the left heel, just getting a calf stretch here. So especially if you're anything like me, the legs love to cramp up in the middle of the night. So we're going to try to stretch out those really tight muscles. It's also super important that you're staying hydrated and getting in your minerals. That will help tremendously with the cramping. Calcium and magnesium worked wonders for me. Again, not medical advice, but it's worth talking to your doctor about if you are experiencing any cramping in the legs. Nice. And then we're going to switch it out. Bring your left knee back to the mat. Step the right foot back, pressing into the ball of the right foot, and then press back into the heel. Now you can stay pressing back or you can rock back and forth. That's totally up to you, whatever feels good. Very nice. Return to your neutral tabletop. And once more, we're gonna open up to cow. This time, let's go ahead and tuck the toes. See if we can get a stretch in the back of the feet. We're gonna sit your hips back almost as if you're going into a child's pose. But before we do that, they let the hips tap and then round it forward to cat pose. Shoulders passing the wrist. Just getting a little bit of wave-like motion with this cow and cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, round it forward, cat. One more, inhale, lead with the hips, take it back. Exhale, cat, round it forward, very nice. Roll out the feet here, and then just sit your hips back. And I have my toes tucked. It feels good to me to have the stretch on the back of the feet. That doesn't always feel the best, so if you wanna untuck your toes, go ahead and untuck the toes. We're gonna interlace the fingers and make a ball with your fists. We're just gonna roll out the wrists. Change the direction of your circles. Very nice. Unite the backs of your palms. So your fingers are going to point down, backs of the palms are going to come together. Just a very gentle stretch of the wrists here. Very nice. Bring the palms together, interlace the fingers, press the palms forward. Reach the arms overhead, get long, get tall. Notice if you start really arching the back, take the arch out of the back, just get tall here. Breathe in, pressing the palms towards the ceiling, and then exhale, release the hands behind the low back. Imagine like you're gonna put them into back pockets. Draw the elbows together and then come to standing on the knees. Take it nice and slow. Again, my toes are tucked here. We're not gonna come into a full camel, just a baby camel, what I like to call it. Squeeze the glutes, and then begin to press the hips forward, reach the chest high. This right here can be perfect. You don't have to go any deeper than this. Just see what your body is asking of you, and if it wants to take this into more of a full camel, you can do so. However, for me right now, it just feels good to open up the front line of the body, and I'm sure that it feels good to do that for you as well, especially with a belly. The body tends to try to compensate by rounding forward. So pull the shoulders back and open up through the chest. Breathe in, and then very gently, very slowly, come back onto your seat, untuck the toes, palms face up in the lap. Very nice. Now, as we move through this vinyasa, especially if you have a belly, just notice if your balance is a little bit off today. I don't want you to be standing on one leg if you don't feel safe to do so. You have to keep your balance and your strength a priority here. So just follow along as you can, and if it's not there for you today, there's no judgment. Just accept it. Your body's doing something incredible and accommodating as it sees fit. When you're ready, come onto your downward facing dog. Plant into both palms, tuck the toes, and send the hips up and back. Finding some gentle movements, shifting your weight from your left foot to your right. And with pregnancy comes the hormone relaxin, which allows us to basically do that, relax the muscles a little bit more, and it allows us to get deeper into the poses, which is why we want to prioritize strength rather than flexibility, because the muscles are already, I want to say, compromised to an extent. We have to have the strength to support that flexibility and to repair the body after you have delivered the baby. Excuse me. Go ahead and come high onto the toes, bend into the knees, look in between the hands, and walk to the top of your mat. Take a halfway lift and go ahead and grab your blocks here. Take them under the shoulders and plant into the palms. So this right here is going to be your forward fold from here on. We don't have to fold belly to thighs anymore. We just want to find a little bit of a stretch in the back of the legs, but still maintaining the space for the belly here. This might also feel good, like I said, if you do have a belly, just to let it kind of hang for a moment. Very nice. And then slowly come on up to standing. Reach the arms high, unite the palms, bring the hands to heart center, mountain pose or Tadasana. Excuse me, I'm a little congested today. Inhale, reach the arms high. And then exhale, gentle twist to the right. Once again, we're not taking a full twist here. Actually, the twist is going to come from the shoulders a bit more. So pulling the right shoulder back, the left shoulder forward. Breathe in and breathe out. Inhale, reach the arms high, and then twist to the left. Left arm reaches back, right arm reaches forward. Very nice. Inhale, reach both arms high, and then exhale, forward fold. We're not here for long, so you can plant the palms under the shoulders onto the blocks, and then take a halfway lift. Plant the palms and step your left foot back. Drop the knee and untuck the toes. Grab a hold of your blocks. Right knee is stacked over the right ankle, and I have my hands on my blocks here because I don't want to prioritize depth today. I want to actively press into that right heel and into the left knee. Untuck the back toes if you haven't already, and really hug the right knee towards the left heel. So you'll feel the activation. Rather than sinking the hips forward and through, I want you to feel that lift. Hug both sides of the pelvic floor together, pressing into the palms, reach the chest high. Get really strong here, breathe in. And then on the exhale, begin to shift the hips back and walk the hands under the shoulders, hands still on blocks. Begin to tug the right toes towards the face. Get a nice stretch in the back of that right leg. Half split. Very nice. We're going to floss in and out of this right hip just like that a couple more times. Taking your blocks with you. Breathe in, low lunge. And breathe out, take a half split. Inhale, low lunge. Exhale, half split. One more time. Inhale, low lunge. And exhale, half split. Very nice. Stay here for just a moment. Tug that right hip crease back so that it's in line with the left. Keep pulling the toes towards the face. Let this feel good on the back of that right leg. Now begin to walk the hands forward, bending back into that right knee. We're going to take your right block, place it off to the side, peel the right arm high. So you may notice this is a little bit different than what we typically do when we're doing a gentle twist. The ground is a little too high for me, so I'm going to drop my block here. There, and I'm going to open up the chest, pulling the right shoulder down the back. And if you have a belly and you want to walk that right leg out any amount, just give yourself more space. There's no rules here, just as long as it feels good. Breathe in. Very nice. And then plant both palms onto the mat, tuck the left toes, pick up the left knee, step your right foot back to meet the left, and find your knees. Inhale to shift the body forward, and all we're going to do here is take this little baby lower, so kind of a chaturanga on the knees. Breathe in, and then find your tabletop and set the hips back any amount. We're not here long, so if this is too much of a fold, don't worry. We're going to come back forward to the tabletop, tuck the toes, and find downward facing dog. Very nice. Breathe in and breathe out. Come down to the toes, bend the knees, look in between the hands, and then walk to the top of your mat. Take a halfway lift and a forward fold. Inhale to extended mountain. Exhale, twist to the right. Right arm reaches back, left arm reaches forward. Take it up to center, and then twist to the left. Inhale, reach high, reach long. Exhale, fold, hands onto the blocks. I know the blocks, something throughout pregnancy that I always like to say is the blocks they start to be a pain, but please lean on them. It takes a bit away from the seamless transitions, but I promise you, your body will thank you later. Take a halfway lift, and then step your right foot back, drop the knee, untuck the toes. Coming into your low lunge, sinking the hips forward just a tad, but really prioritizing that strength. So drawing the left heel towards the right knee, squeezing the inner thighs, and reaching the chest high. Breathe in. And then on the exhale, find your half split. Walk the hands under the shoulders, pump the heart towards the toes. We're going to floss now in and out of this left hip. Walk the hands forward, breathe in. Exhale, half split. Inhale, low lunge. Exhale, half split. One more to the front. Exhale to the back. Very nice. We'll stay here for a few moments, for a few breaths. Stretching into the back of that left leg now, tugging the toes towards the face, reaching the chest towards the toes. And then walk the hands forward. We're gonna come into that gentle twist, so do what you must with your blocks. Place them off to the side all together if you would like. Reach that left arm high, and then let it land. Tuck the right toes, pick up the right knee, left foot steps back. High plank, go ahead and lower to the knees here, shifting the body forward, untuck the toes. Take that little baby push-up, and then sending the hips back just to tuck the toes and roll it to downward facing dog. Very nice. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. Coming into a wide-legged short down dog. So we're gonna take a footstep forward and take the legs pretty wide here. Take your left hand towards kind of underneath the face, and then we're gonna reach this right hand back to the outer left calf or outer left thigh, and it may feel better even to bend into that right knee. It'll help you kind of deepen this twist, but this twist still gives you some space in the belly. So just kind of explore pulling the body underneath that left arm, reaching the crown of your head towards the left thumb. Explore what feels good in this twist, and then take it to the other side. Right hand will land underneath the face, left arm reaches for the outer right calf or thigh, bending into that left knee if that feels good. Give your belly some space and twist. There's an old wives' tale that you should not twist in class in yoga during pregnancy. And it is not entirely true. We want to definitely save space for the baby, but there is no detoxing that baby out with twists, so don't worry about that at all. Take the hands underneath where the face was, so in the short downward facing dog, and just twist out the hips here. This should feel pretty good. Accommodating, letting that belly hang heavy. Very nice. And then walk the hands back to meet the feet, so you'll be at the back edge of your mat. Grab a block or two if they are nearby. And then reach the arms high. Take it nice and slow, especially during pregnancy. You want to be mindful of the transition from being folded to being standing, so take it slow. There's no rush. Inhale, reach the arms high, bring your hands to heart center, turn your toes out and your heels in. You should have a little bit wider of a base. And we're just going to sink the hips nice and slow all the way into this malasana. I have my hips up on my block, and then using my elbows just to very gently guide the knees away from each other, bringing my hands into heart center. Reaching the chest tall, working on getting that tail down under you here. And then take some really nice deep belly breaths. One more. Very nice. Take your hands down onto the mat. And rather than standing back up, we're going to come into that camel variation. So your toes will be tucked. Come standing on the knees. Now you have your blocks, so place them on either side outside of the ankles if you would like to use them. You do not have to come into this full camel. Take your hands to your low back. Draw the elbows together. Reach the chest forward and up as you gently press the hips forward, coming into camel variation. You can stay right like this. If you feel like a deeper back bend would feel nice for you today, reach your left hand back and grab a hold of that left block. You can stay right like this. We will have another opportunity to take camel on the right side as well. Or if you have the space and you want to take this into camel, walk the right hand back to the block as well. Breathe in, squeezing the glutes to support the belly. Lift through the back body. Inhale. And then very slowly sit your hips back onto your heels. Untuck the toes. Turn your palms face up in your lap, and you can crinkle out the fingers here if the wrists are getting tired. And then we're going to take round two. So if you only took one side the first time, this is the opportunity to take it on the other side. Go ahead and come to standing on the knees. Tuck the toes if you would like. Hands to the low back like you're going to put them into pockets. Draw the elbows together. Lift through the chest. Begin to spread across the collarbone as you reach the chest up and press the hips forward. And this time, reaching back with the right hand, coming into your half camel, followed by the left if you took it full camel the first time. Activation in the back line of the body is super important here. Breathe in. And then very slowly untuck the toes, coming out of camel just as slow as you came into it. Blocks can go back to the front edge of your mat as you'll use them for your forward folds. Palms face up in the lap, breathe in. And breathe out. Very nice. Walk your hands forward, find downward facing dog. And we're going to get the body and the blood flow moving just a little bit now. So come high onto the toes, look in between the hands, bend into the knees, walk to the top of your mat. Take a halfway lift and a forward fold. Bend into the knees, sweep the arms high, extended mountain, and then find chair pose. Set the hips back, reach the chest up, maybe even lifting the gaze. Wiggle into the toes so that the weight is in the heels here, as long as that feels safe for you. Breathe in, and then exhale, find your fold. Hands can come onto your blocks. Take a halfway lift, and then plant the hands, step it back to downward facing dog. We're gonna lift this left leg. Now it doesn't have to go to its fullest extent. We're just gonna lift, try to keep the hips even. So if you notice that that left hip starts opening up, let's actually dial the left hip back down and lift from the glute. Breathe in, and then exhale, bring your left knee to your nose or your thigh closer to the belly, and then you're gonna plant that left foot anywhere in the mat until you can get it to the top. So if you need to plant the left foot, drop the right knee, step the left foot forward. Take what you need here. We're gonna pivot on the back foot and come on up to warrior one. So warrior one is our destination. Your journey is your journey. It's up to you. Breathe in. And then we're gonna open up into warrior two. Now when we get into these warriors, we generally like to take this really nice wide base, but to accommodate for the belly and the loosening of the muscles, let's actually take up a little less space than what we're used to. So walk that right foot in any amount, keep a nice bend in that left knee, and then extend through the arms. Breathe in and breathe out. Inhale and exhale. Very nice. Begin to reach it forward. Flip your front palm. Carry the left arm up and back, reversing your warrior. This right arm can track down the right leg or behind the back. Either way, it's completely weightless. Don't lose the bend in the left knee. Breathe in. And then exhale, warrior two. Very nice. Inhale to reach it forward and then find extended side angle. My left arm is gonna rest here on my left knee. Now, if I move my left arm, I'm not gonna fall. So it's not like I'm dumping a ton of weight there. Reach the right arm up and overhead. And then find a little bit of lift in the side body. Very nice. Breathe in. And then find warrior two. Begin to straighten into this left leg. I want you to locate your block. Place it underneath your left shoulder, we're gonna come into a triangle pose. My block is to the inside of my left ankle. Planting my left hand, pulling my hips underneath me, and then peel the right arm open, triangle pose. Again, finding a lift. So imagine I'm taking your right wrist and I'm reaching it up. Very nice. And again, the legs aren't as wide as they usually are, so you might find that you have less depth, and that is perfectly fine. Inhale and exhale. Softly bend into the left knee. Set your block off to the side and find crescent lunge. Very nice. Look just beyond those left toes as you bring your hands into heart center, shifting your weight forward. I just want you to step your right foot up to meet your left and keep the weight in the left foot. Reach the arms high. We're gonna come into stork pose. So your right thigh is gonna come with you. Now this is where I said if the balance is not there today, keep your right toes down onto the mat. Otherwise, you can lift this right thigh into your chest if you're feeling nice and strong and sturdy today. I guess stable is the word I should say. Bring your hands to your hips. And then using the glute muscle, the back of that right leg, begin to peel your right hip open. We're gonna head into tree pose. I just want you to feel the strength that that glute requires to open up that right hip to the back or to the right side of the room. And then take your hand and you can place the right foot to the inner left thigh or calf, or like I said, keep those toes down in this supported tree today. Once you get your foot where it feels right, start to feel all that activation. So pressing into that big toe mound on the left foot. The right foot is pressing into the left leg just as much as the left leg is pressing into the right foot. I have my tailbone lengthened down, softening through the shoulders, and then pull the belly button and ribs in just a tad. We just want a very little bit of activation there. Let's bring your hands to heart center today. Tree pose, finding something in your room that is not moving. It's something out in front of you or down just in front of your mat maybe. We just want to feel strong here today, still hugging both sides of the pelvic floor together. Beautiful. Breathe in and breathe out. Begin to start dialing that right knee back to the front of the room. Reach the arms high, reach the knee high, stork pose once more, and then let it land. Tadasana, inhale and exhale. Sweep the arms high, find your chair pose, set the hips back. Excuse me. Breathe in, and then exhale, find a forward fold. Blocks are nearby for whenever you need them. Take a halfway lift. And then plant the hands, step it back, downward facing dog. We're going to sweep your right leg high. Again, we're not going to as high as we possibly can. We just want to find some strength in the back of this right leg, and then curl it up and in. Plant that right foot maybe in the center, and then just wiggle or step it up in between the hands. Accommodate where you need to accommodate. Drop that back heel. Find warrior one. Breathe in. And then open up to warrior two, being mindful not to take too wide of a stance here. Get strong and stable in your foundation. Very nice. Begin to reach forward, flip the front palm, carry the right arm up and back, reversed warrior. Big breath into this right side body. And then exhale, find warrior two. Inhale to reach it forward. Take your left arm up and over, extended side angle. Can you pull the left shoulder down the back? Take your gaze up towards the ceiling. And if I were to move that right arm, would you tilt and tumble down? I hope not. Come on up to warrior two. Locate your blocks as you straighten into this right leg, coming into triangle pose. Planting the right block underneath the right shoulder, and then peel the left arm open. Triangle pose. Stacking left shoulder on top of right, reaching up with those left fingertips, softly bend into the right knee. Find warrior two. Sweep both arms high, coming into crescent lunge, bringing your hands to heart center. Let's start shifting your weight into that right foot now, and then step the left foot up to meet the right, letting it kind of hover rather than having both feet fully on the mat. Heading into our tree pose. So we're gonna find stork, reach the arms high, bring your left thigh into your chest, get long, get tall, and then take your hands to your hips as you situate this left foot. Let's open the left knee to the left side using the glute, and then place the foot on the inner thigh or the inner calf, and building from the ground up. So getting strong in that right standing foot, drawing up that right kneecap, lengthening the tailbone. Belly button and ribs are slightly activated. Shoulders are soft away from the ears. Now let's bring the hands into heart center. Finding your drishti, something to focus on. Very nice. Begin to dial that left knee back towards the front of the room. Reach the arms high. Reach the left knee up and in. And then step it down. Bring your hands to your heart center. Mountain pose. Getting back to your breath if you have lost it. We're going to go through that sequence one more time on both sides. We'll add a little bit of speed to it, getting a little bit more breath to movement. And then we will head into some cooling down postures. Softly bend into the knees. Inhale, reach the arms high, sink the hips, chair pose. Breathe in, exhale, forward fold. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale, plant the palms, just step it back, downward facing dog. Right away, let's take this left leg high. Allow there to be some time for your body to accommodate, shifting for the balance, and then take your left knee to your nose. We're heading into warrior one. So push, pull, or drag that left foot forward, and then reach the arms high. Breathe in, get strong and stable in this foundation. And again, if you need to widen your base here, walk that left knee out away from the right foot and get wide in your base, okay? Breathe in and then open up to warrior two. Inhale to reach it forward, carry your left arm up and back. Big breath in. On the exhale, warrior two. The legs are staying just as they were. Begin to reach it forward. Now find your extended side angle. Right arm reaches up and over. Inhale, and then exhale, warrior two. Locate your blocks. You'll begin to straighten into this left leg. Reach it forward and tilt, triangle pose. Left hand is up on a block. Inhale, and then exhale, bend into the left knee, warrior two. Sweep the arms high, crescent lunge, hands to heart center. Shifting your weight into your left foot now. Step your right foot up to meet the left. Heading into stork pose. Breathe in and then hands to your hips. Get long and get tall, and then open the right knee to the right side as you plant the right foot to the inner left thigh or calf. And then bring your hands to heart center, getting long in the standing leg, long in the spine. Reach the crown of the head tall. And then dial the right knee back to the front of the room. Reach the arms high, sit the hips and the both feet down, coming into chair pose, taking it to the other side. Inhale and exhale, forward fold. Inhale to half lift, and then plant the hands, step both feet back, downward facing dog. Kicking your right leg high, give yourself time to land here, and then finding your warrior one. So push, pull, or drag that right foot to the front in between the hands, pivot on the back heel, widen your stance, and then find warrior one. Breathe in, open up warrior two, allowing for plenty of space. We also don't need to have our hips turning towards the long edge of the mat here. Actually, just turn them towards that front corner, and this is perfect here. As long as these hips are comfortable, it's exactly where I want you to be. Begin to reach forward, flip the front palm, take it up and back, reverse your warrior one. Inhale, and then find warrior two. Inhale to reach it forward. Left arm reaches up and over, extended side angle. Inhale. Exhale. Settle in your warrior two. Very nice. Locate your block. Begin to straighten into this right leg as you bump the hips towards the back. Reach forward. Find your triangle pose. Right hand is on a block. Inhale. Stay for your exhale. And then find your warrior two. Very nice. Heading into crescent lunge. We'll sweep both arms high, pivot on the back foot. Inhale, and then bring your hands to heart center. Excuse me. Shifting your weight forward into this right foot. Bring that left foot up to meet the right. Setting up for tree pose. So take whatever you need to get here. And then reach that left knee up into your chest. Stork pose first. And then open your left knee out to the left side. Bring in your hands to your hips. I'm sorry, I rushed through a couple of those steps there. Bring your left foot into the inner left thigh or calf, allowing those toes to touch down if your balance is not so stable today. And then bring your hands into heart center. Getting tall, getting strong, getting grounded in this tree pose. Very nice. Reach the arms high, reach the left knee high, and then settle into your chair pose. 2 feet to the mat. Lift up through the chest. Inhale. And then exhale, find a fold. Let's actually hang here for a little bit. So grab a hold of your blocks. Press into the palms. Walk the feet back a little bit away from the hands. I want you just to allow your belly to kind of hang here. Maybe even drawing the shoulders a little bit down the back. Taking almost like a standing cow pose. Very nice. Now you have your blocks handy. We're going to widen our stance, toes out, heels in. Take your blocks under your hips and lower your sit bones. Take as much time as you need. I almost fell off my blocks. Coming into a malasana. Excuse me. Reaching your chest into your thumbs and your tailbone under you. As we head into the cool down portion of this class, I hope you feel strong and supported by your body. I hope you feel connected and love to your baby. And allow your body just to feel all the grace that this season offers. It is just a season. I am postpartum myself, so I understand, especially if you have an existing yoga practice, I understand the desire to get back into your old practice or to feel the way that you used to feel. And if you're one of those people that you can just whip out your practice and it's no big deal, that is something to be so grateful for. The body is constantly changing, especially in the first pregnancy versus the second versus the third. If you've had that many, you understand it is different every time. So just give yourself grace. It is just a season. Enjoy it. Whenever you're ready, begin to spike into the heels. Take your hands down onto the mat. All we're going to do is remove the blocks, lift your hips any amount, and then very gently make your way onto your seat. Oh, I'm sorry. Roll over your feet and take your legs out long. Remove any extra flesh from under your sit bones. And then we're going to straighten into both legs. If you have a micro bend in the knees, sometimes that feels better. And you can place your hands either onto your blocks. We're just going to sit up nice and tall. If you have some space to fold here, you can fold. But we're not going to prioritize the deepest fold. So take whatever feels good here for you. Very nice. Slowly roll up. And I'm going to kind of open to the long edge of my mat here. You can stay just as you are. Take your legs into a V. Still removing any flesh from under the sit bones. This does not have to be your widest V. Actually, I'd prefer if it wasn't. And take your blocks in between the legs and rest onto your forearms. Working the toes and the knees to the back of the room. And working your chest forward any amount. Very gentle fold here. I say gentle, but that doesn't mean it's easy. Very slowly come on up. Take your blocks to the side. Tuck your right foot into the inner left thigh. And let's actually bring in that left thigh. If it's way out there, let's kind of pull it in a little bit. Turn your torso over that left leg any amount. And we're going to fold just a bit to find some length, especially in this right side body. So you can place your forearms on your blocks at any level and find a supported fold here. And then slowly come on up. If you have folded, switch out the legs. Right leg extends, left foot folds in. Take your blocks on either side of that right foot, turn your torso over the right leg, and fold just a bit. Very nice. Walk the hands and the upper body up. This time we're going to come into the seated butterfly. Now this can be a lot for those inner thighs. So you have your blocks, you can place them underneath the outer thighs, bring the soles of the feet together and sit up nice and tall. This might feel pretty good here to kind of pump the heart forward and see if there's any sort of fold for you here with the legs a bit wider. Otherwise, just sit up nice and tall. Sometimes it feels good to roll the shoulders away, up and down, just like we did in the beginning of class. Very nice. Now from here, I want to give you a couple options. Depending on where you are in your pregnancy, I never really cared for laying on my back. And there's also some conflicting information as to whether or not it's totally safe. It's not safe for an extended period of time. So if you feel safe and comfortable in your body to lie down on the pillow or the bolster or the blankets that you grabbed, or you can also lay on your left side. Sometimes that feels really good. Support yourself in any way. We're going to take a 10-minute Shavasana. I'm actually going to take mine seated today. So if you feel comfortable in your seat, you can go ahead and take that position as well. I'm going to sit my hips up onto this pillow. Get yourself nice and comfortable. Excuse me. And then, once again, just taking your hands onto your belly, just finding that space of connectedness. And my hands are cold, so I'm going to actually put a little bit of heat beneath my palms. So if your hands are cold, you can do the same. And then place those warm palms on your belly and soften into this position just for a moment before we head into Shavasana. Integrating your practice. Checking back in with your breath, with your body. Sending gratitude to your body for supporting you throughout that practice and throughout this pregnancy. A lot of the work goes on behind the scenes, stuff that you're not even aware of that your body is doing for you and for the baby. So send your body gratitude for the things you don't even know about. And then when you're ready, go ahead and you can leave the hands on your belly if you'd like, or just get into your comfortable final resting shape. We will be here for approximately 10 minutes. If you need to in this practice now, you can do so. However, I encourage you to stay here as long as you can. Taking this time to integrate your practice. Practicing that gratitude once again, noticing the breath and how the body feels after movement. And then when you're ready, we'll reach the arms overhead, unite the palms, and drag the thumb knuckles in front of the heart space. It was my honor to practice with you as always. Go in peace, love, and light. Namaste.